Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the mysteries of ancient technologies that still baffle scientists and historians. I mean, seriously, we're talking about stuff that just shouldn't exist, given what we think we know about the past. It's one thing to look at old tools and figure out, yeah, okay, they sharpened a rock, but some of these artifacts, man, they're on a whole other level. It forces you to question the narrative, to really think about what these ancient civilizations were capable of. We're going to journey through some of the most mind-bending examples of ancient ingenuity, things that make you scratch your head and wonder if maybe, just maybe, there's a whole chunk of human history that's been lost or deliberately ignored. These aren't just curiosities, they're legitimate puzzles that challenge our understanding of technological development. How did they do it? What were they thinking? Were they smarter than us, or did they have help? These are the questions that keep me up at night, and I know a lot of you out there feel the same way. So buckle up, because we're about to explore 10 incredible pieces of ancient tech that defy easy explanations, from complex astronomical computers to evidence of potential ancient electricity, and maps that show things they couldn't possibly have known about. It's a wild ride, and by the end of it, you'll be questioning everything you thought you knew about the capabilities of our ancestors. Let's get into it. This is going to be a good one. All right, first up, we've got the Antikythera mechanism. This thing, man, it's just insane. They pulled it out of a Roman-era shipwreck off the coast of Greece, dated to like the 2nd century BC. For years, it was just a corroded lump of bronze. Nobody really knew what it was. Then they started x-raying it, doing CT scans, and holy shit, it's this incredibly complex system of gears, like 30 or more, all intricately designed and working together. We're talking about something that could predict astronomical positions, eclipses, even the cycles of the Olympic Games. Think about that for a second. Over 2,000 years ago, how did they even conceive of this? The precision required to make those gears, to understand the celestial mechanics well enough to model them, is just mind-boggling. Nothing even close to this level of complexity appears again for like 1,000 years with the astronomical clocks of medieval Europe. So what happened in between? Did this knowledge just vanish? Was it a one-off genius invention or part of a wider, lost technological tradition? Scientists are still piecing it together, but the more they find out, the more you realize these ancient Greeks were playing on a whole different level than we usually give them credit for. It's like finding an iPhone in a pharaoh's tomb. It just doesn't fit the timeline. Next, let's talk about the Great Pyramids of Giza. Everyone knows them, right? Massive, iconic. But the sheer scale and precision, man, that's where it gets nuts. We're told they were built by tens of thousands of workers hauling these multi-ton stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons using ropes and ramps. And they aligned these things to true north with an accuracy that's frankly astonishing, even for us today with all our lasers and GPS. The sides are almost perfectly equal, the angles are precise, it's not just big, it's incredibly sophisticated. And it's not just the Great Pyramid, but the entire Giza complex. The way it's laid out, the Sphinx, there are theories about astronomical alignments, sacred geometry. The official story is that it's a tomb for a pharaoh. But then you look at the internal chambers, the strange shafts, the lack of inscriptions you'd normally find in a tomb, it makes you wonder. Could there be more to it? How did they achieve that level of precision with copper tools and sheer manpower? Some of these blocks are cut so perfectly that you can't even fit a piece of paper between them. It's a legitimate feat of engineering that still makes modern engineers scratch their heads. There's got to be something we're missing. Then you've got the Nazca lines in Peru. These are just wild, man. Gigantic geoglyphs etched into the desert floor. Hundreds of them. Spiders, monkeys, hummingbirds, lizards, straight lines that go for miles. Geometric shapes. And the crazy part is, you can only really see them, appreciate what they are from the air. We're talking figures that are hundreds of feet long. So these were created by the Nazca culture, somewhere between 500 BC and 500 AD. Long before airplanes, long before hot air balloons were a common thing, if they even had them. So the question is why, and for whom? If you can't see them from the ground, who were they trying to impress? Were they messages to sky gods, astronomical calendars, ritual pathways? People have all sorts of theories, from the plausible to the totally out there, like ancient alien landing strips. I'm not saying it's aliens, but you've got to admit it's weird. The sheer effort to create these things, to maintain their proportions over such vast distances without an aerial perspective. It's a monumental undertaking, and they're so well preserved because the climate there is incredibly dry. It's like a giant art installation in the middle of nowhere for an audience that theoretically didn't exist. Chapter 4. The Baghdad Battery. Ancient electricity? This one is a real head-scratcher. The Baghdad Battery. It's a collection of terracotta pots found near Baghdad, dating back to maybe around 250 BC to 224 AD, the Parthian or Sasanian periods. Inside each pot there's a copper cylinder, and inside that an iron rod. Now, if you fill these things with an acidic liquid like vinegar or grape juice, they can produce a small electric current, around a volt or two. It's a simple galvanic cell, basically a primitive battery. So the question is, what the hell were they using it for? The mainstream archaeologists are kind of dismissive. Some say it was just for storing scrolls or something, and the setup is a coincidence. But come on, man, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, what if they know about electricity? Maybe not for powering cities, but for electroplating gold onto silver, like some experiments have suggested. Or for some kind of religious ritual to give statues a little tingle to make people think they were divine, or even for medical purposes, like a mild form of electrotherapy. We just don't know. There's no definitive proof of how they were used, no wires found with them, but the possibility that they understood even basic electrochemistry that long ago is just fascinating. Chapter 5. The stone spheres of Costa Rica. Perfectly puzzling. Okay, now picture this. Hundreds of perfectly or near perfectly round stone spheres scattered across Costa Rica. Some are small, like a bowling ball. Others are massive, up to 2 meters in diameter and weighing like 16 tons. They're made from granodiorite, a hard, igneous rock. And when I say perfectly round, I mean it. The craftsmanship is incredible. These were made by the Diqui culture sometime between 600 AD and 1500 AD before the Spanish conquest. But how they made them so smooth and spherical with the tools they supposedly had is a huge mystery. And what were they for? That's the million-dollar question. Were they status symbols? Did they have astronomical significance, arranged to mark constellations or solstices? Some were found in alignments, others in clusters. Many were moved from their original locations or even blown up by treasure hunters, thinking there was gold inside. So a lot of the context is lost, which is a damn shame. There are local legends, of course, about them being cannonballs of the gods or containing hidden treasures. But scientifically, nobody really knows. It's another one of those things where the effort and skill involved seem way out of proportion for a purely decorative purpose, you know? There's got to be a reason for that perfection. Chapter 6. The Roman dodecahedra enigmatic objects of power. Let's jump over to Europe and talk about Roman dodecahedra. These are really strange little objects. They're small, hollow, made of bronze or sometimes stone, and they have 12 flat pentagonal faces. Each face has a circular hole in it of varying diameters, and there are these little knobs at each corner point. They've found over 100 of them, all across what used to be the Roman Empire, from Wales to Hungary, mostly dating from the 2nd to 4th centuries AD. But here's the kicker. There are no written records about them. None. Zero. So what were they? Candlestick holders? Dice for some unknown game? Surveying instruments? Range-finding devices for Roman artillery? Some people think they were knitting tools for making gloves, which sounds a bit too mundane for something so specific and widespread. Others suggest they were religious artifacts, maybe used for divination or as scepter heads. The fact that the holes are different sizes on each face suggests some kind of calibration or measurement. But for what? It's a total enigma. For an empire as well documented as Rome to have these relatively common objects with no explanation, it's just bizarre. It's like they were deliberately keeping it a secret, or it was so commonplace nobody bothered to write it down. Chapter 7. The Piri Reis Map. Antarctica before we knew it? This one, the Piri Reis map, is a classic, and it still blows my mind. It's a map drawn on gazelle skin in 1513 by a Turkish admiral named Piri Reis. He said he compiled it from about 20 older source maps, some going back to the time of Alexander the Great, and even some supposedly captured from Christopher Columbus. The map shows parts of Europe, North Africa, the coast of Brazil. But the controversial part, man, is what looks like the northern coast of Antarctica. And here's the thing, Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until 1820. And the map seems to show it without its ice cap, or at least with a different coastline than the one we see today under all that ice. How is that possible? If the source maps were ancient, did they depict a time when Antarctica was ice-free? That would mean going back thousands, maybe even millions of years. Or did some unknown civilization map it much earlier? Skeptics say it's just a distorted representation of the South American coastline, or that Piri Reis misinterpreted his sources, but some of the details, like certain bays and islands that match subglacial topography, are eerily accurate. It's one of those artifacts that makes you seriously question the accepted timeline of exploration and cartography. It's just out of place. Chapter 8. The Voynich manuscript, an unbreakable code. Now for a real mindbender, the Voynich manuscript. This is a book, a codex, probably from the early 15th century, filled with illustrations of strange plants that don't match any known species, astronomical charts, weird biological drawings that look like organs or cells, and pages of text written in a script that nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever been able to decipher. The best cryptographers in the world, including guys who broke codes in World War II, have tried and failed. It's nuts. Is it a lost language, a sophisticated cipher, an elaborate hoax? The illustrations are so detailed, so bizarre. Some look like alchemical recipes, others like herbal remedies from another planet. The text has statistical properties that look like a real language. Certain characters appear more frequently. Some patterns repeat, which makes a hoax less likely, or at least an incredibly complex one. But if it's real, what knowledge does it contain? What secrets are locked away in those pages? For centuries, it's been baffling linguists, historians, and codebreakers. It's the ultimate linguistic mystery, a book you can see but can't read, and it just taunts you with its secrets. Chapter 9, the Saqqara bird, ancient Egyptian glider. This one is a small artifact, but it sparks huge debate, the Saqqara bird. It was found in a tomb in Saqqara, Egypt in 1898, and it dates to around 200 BC. It's a small wooden object shaped like a bird, or more accurately like a glider or a small airplane. It's got a wingspan of about 7 inches, a fuselage and a tail. What's really interesting is that its wings have an airfoil shape, which is crucial for aerodynamic lift. And unlike other bird figures from ancient Egypt, it doesn't have legs, and its tail is vertical, like a rudder, not horizontal like a bird's tail feathers. Now, the official explanation is that it's just a child's toy or a weather vane. But some people, including aviation experts, have looked at it and said, hang on, this thing has features that suggest an understanding of aerodynamics. They've even built replicas, and some of them actually fly, or at least glide pretty well. So could the ancient Egyptians have understood the principles of flight even on a small scale? Were they experimenting with gliders? It seems far-fetched, but then you look at this little wooden bird and you got to wonder. It's another one of those things that just doesn't quite fit. It's tantalizing. Chapter 10, the Longyu Caves. A subterranean labyrinth. Last but definitely not least, we have the Longyu Caves in China. These things are absolutely colossal, man. We're talking about a series of 24, maybe more man-made caves carved out of solid siltstone, discovered in 1992 by a local farmer. They're huge, with some caverns reaching heights of 30 meters, and the total excavated area is over 30,000 square meters. The crazy part is there's no historical record of their construction. None. And they're estimated to be at least 2,000 years old, possibly dating back to before the Qin dynasty in 212 BCE. The precision is astounding. The walls and ceilings are covered in these uniform, parallel chisel marks, set at a consistent angle, creating this incredible textured pattern throughout the entire complex. How did they achieve that level of uniformity and precision, working in the dark, underground, on such a massive scale, and why? What was the purpose of these enormous, elaborately carved caverns? Were they tombs, an underground palace, a secret military base? Nobody knows. The sheer volume of rock removed is estimated to be almost 1 million cubic meters. That's a monumental undertaking for any era, let alone 2 millennia ago, with no record of who did it or why. It's an underground world of mystery. So there you have it. 10 ancient technologies that continue to baffle some of the smartest people on the planet. From intricate computers and impossible construction feats to undecipherable texts and potential knowledge of flight or electricity, it's clear that our ancestors were capable of some truly astonishing things that just don't neatly fit into the conventional historical narratives we're often fed. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What else is out there buried under the sand or hidden in forgotten texts that could rewrite what we think we know about human history? The more we uncover, the more it seems we have to learn. These mysteries aren't just cool stories. They're invitations to dig deeper, to question assumptions, and to appreciate the incredible ingenuity and perseverance of those who came before us. Maybe they weren't so primitive after all. Maybe in some ways they knew things that we've forgotten. It's a humbling thought and a damn exciting one, if you ask me. The quest for knowledge is endless, and these ancient enigmas are powerful reminders of that. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more intriguing content. We've got a lot more mysteries to explore, a lot more questions to ask. Let me know in the comments which of these technologies blows your mind the most, or if there are others you think we should cover. Stay curious, and I'll see you next time.